No big deal. If I didn't take that shot, my dad would be irritated with me. So, great to be here, first of all. I'll just go basically through the team and some of the transitions that we've gone through, and then leave the rest up to you guys as we go through it. But I feel like we're in a great position. It's a great opportunity for myself, for my staff, for my family to be where we're at in Logan. And it's kind of a dream come true to be a Division I head coach, and especially in basically the area where I grew up my whole life. Not an easy decision. I had a great job, and I wanted to be a head football coach, but not until I was in a position where I thought I could truly win. And the administration at Utah State has truly given the opportunity for us to be successful in a lot of ways. But I know if you don't have a staff, you have no shot. They gave us the ability to bottom line pay a staff, and makes us very competitive within the WAC, and I believe within the Mountain West Conference, the way that our assistants are paid, which gives us the ability to have stability as a coaching staff. So that's a big key for that. Our academic support, everything that goes around that, our new facility, it basically gave us the opportunity to be able to come in and compete in the WAC in a recruiting standpoint, which in turn will give us an opportunity to compete on the field year in and year out. So I love the team. I think we've had a great summer. Stressed these kids in a lot of different ways from January 4th when we walked in. You know, you just have your own philosophy, and whatever your philosophy is all you can go with when you go in and you take a job, and it's always going to be change. It's always going to be different. Brent Guy is a good friend of mine, a very good person. It doesn't matter where you go, there's always going to be a change in how you do things. I think the kids wrapped their arms around the change, did a nice job with the change, but the summer program, I was very impressed with the way they were able to handle it. We had pretty much 100% of our kids there the whole summer, which is good. Not that we would ever take attendance, because that would be an NCAA violation. We wouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, we had a great turnout in the summer. We made some great strength gains in a lot of different areas. I think we're faster, we're bigger, we're stronger than we were. And everybody is. Everybody that's a good team does that within the summer, but we needed to force ourselves and push ourselves a little bit harder in some different ways in the summer than other people to be able to catch, to gain some ground. So I would say the biggest negative that I see on our football team right now is our ability, our strength overall. We get into a big-time physical football game against a powerhouse such as a Boise State that's obviously a proven powerhouse that runs the ball, throws the ball, do what they do. Fresno State, big physical teams, and I'm not saying the other people in the conference aren't physical, but that is my issue right now. That's what scares me the most, and I tell our team that. Bottom line, that is a worry of mine, to how physical we can be. That's really the only glaring negative I see. Can't be fixed overnight, but our kids have done a tremendous job of starting that process. So the biggest positive I saw on the football team when I took the football team over was our ability to run, especially on the back end on defense. The cupboard was definitely not bare in the back end on defense. There's some kids that can get out and run. James Brindley is one of them that's here today. Keyshawn Murphy, Curtis Marsh. We moved a bunch of kids over, but we can run on the defensive side of the ball. Again, my concern is on the defensive front, our physicality. So we need to gain ground in that area. How much ground we've gained on that, I don't know that yet until we get into the season, because the league is still very foreign to me. That's one thing that, I played Boise. Last time I played Boise, I got my fanny kicked, and they took it to us really good at our own place when I was at Utah. So I have a ton of respect for them, obviously, but that's who we need to be able to reach out and try to jump out at Boise and try to catch Boise. If, in my opinion, if you're not doing that, then you don't have the right mindset to be able to catch the best in the league, and obviously they've been the best in the league, and that's who we'll definitely chase and try to catch, and look forward to the opportunity to be able to play them down the line. But right now, we're a football team that's nipping at Boise's, probably not even nipping at their heels right now. We're probably a puppy running 10 yards behind them. But we look forward to the opportunity to be able to try to catch and nip at their heels, and then hopefully climb up their leg a little bit as time goes on here to give us an opportunity to compete at a high level. So offensively and defensively, you want me to talk about that right now a little bit? Yes? Okay. On the defensive side of the ball, the biggest thing we did when we walked in is we changed 15 kids. There's 15 kids that played a different position on the football team at Utah State a year ago that we moved over to the defensive side of the ball. Very proud of the way they handled the adjustments. It's still a work in progress. We want to be able to pressure, play man coverage, bluff, move around. We're not real big, so we've got to keep people guessing. it's a similar mindset to what we had to do a year ago at Utah when we lost the two big defensive tackles, great players. We lost them both within like 10 snaps early in the year, and our two defensive tackles ended up being very small guys. We'll be a small defense, but we've got to be able to run and move and cause people some problems on understanding where we are. So in a nutshell, we're not going to be able to line up in the A gap, the B gap, the C gap, the D gap, and say, okay, offensive lineman, here we are, come and get us. Can't do that. We'll get, it'll be really boring. You'll want to go home in the third quarter because we'll be getting our ass kicked. So that's where we'll be. So excuse me, butt kicked. But I think our defense has come a long ways, and we're continuing to improve. The offensive side of the football, we have some weapons. The main weapon is our quarterback. DeAndre is a very, very talented young man, great athlete, has adjusted to the coaching that Kevin McGivern and Dave Baldwin is giving him from a standpoint of developing his game. Last year, he was a young quarterback. He wanted to look, see if his guy was open, and then run. And I know that Coach Dickey continued to try to develop him as the year went on. Last year at Utah State, I thought he did a tremendous job of continually growing as the year went on, and that was our goal, is to pick up in January where he had gone. And I think Kevin's done a nice job with DeAndre, and I think Dave's done a nice job with DeAndre of starting to develop his skills. Reminds me of Brian Johnson prior to Brian Johnson getting hurt. That's a little bit of where DeAndre sits right now. Brian may hear it or not, but DeAndre's a little bit better athlete than Brian ever was. So, but I know that how talented Brian ended up being at the end of the day, and hopefully DeAndre can come close to those strides as he continues through his junior year and his senior year. But a lot of work to do. The offensive line, talked about it, just not strong enough yet, but I like them. Got a lot of experience last year. We got 5 guys that have started in football games that are our starters today. But there's 8 or 9 guys that are fighting for those starting spots still, so it'll be a young group, work in progress, but we're excited about them. They've had a tremendous summer. I think that Coach Gerke's done a great job of putting size and strength on those kids within his workout through spring, and I think that the strength guys did a tremendous job with their workouts in the summertime, so we've made some strides there. Wide receiver, who is our game breaker. You guys know as well as I do, you've got to have somebody that can make a play for you. At the end of the day, when a game is tight, or you catch a hitch and you run it for 80 yards, or everybody's not wide open every single snap. You got to have a guy that can make a play. Who is that game breaker for us? That remains to be a question. We'll see as we go through camp. I love our running backs. I think we've got Robert Turbin, Michael Smith, Dervin Spate, Marquise Butler. We got a stable of running backs who I think are very, very good players. They're talented young men. How they play when things are real and live on whether it's a Thursday, a Friday, or Saturday, we'll soon find out. But they sure do look the part, and they run well. So I think that's we have to kind of hang our hat on those kids and move in that direction. So I think our linebacker core, go back to defense just for a moment. Pollock Bully is a very good linebacker. We expect him to be a very good linebacker. He's healthy and ready to run, and the other linebackers are young men that have moved over from the offensive side of the ball to come over and play defense. Just from our ability to be able to run, we needed to get some speed over there. So James Brindley's a great leader, very good safety. The other safety position will remain wide open throughout camp to see where we go. So we got to find the right fit in that position. Anything else you need before you fire questions? I guess it'll be a question. Yep.
Coach Tony Jones from the Salt Lake Tribune. Looking at your schedule this year,